this is Ear Trash, and this is going to be part 5 of my dubstep tutorial on Ableton Live. If you haven't seen the other parts, then please click one of the annotations on the screen just now and it'll take you to the relevant video. And please remember to rate this video. First thing we want to do is we want to put in a new operator, so we're going to right click here and insert MIDI track. And then we're going to put in a operator, so operator, double click, and there's our operator. I'm going to copy in the bass line that was with the original track, so I'm going to Control C and Control V into our operator. By default, operator always plays a sine wave, so in this case that's quite lucky. But as you can hear, it's very high pitched, so we're not really wanting that. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click, and then we're going to press Control and A to select all, and then Shift and down on the keyboard. And down again. And as you can hear, this note here on the third bar is sounding a bit weak, so we're going to select that on its own and press Shift and put it up an octave. And then put in another operator. Actually, I think I'll keep the first oscillator as a sine wave, and I'm going to change the rest of them. So the second one I put onto a saw 8. And this one we're going to put to a square 64. I think we'll change that saw 8 to something else. Square 4. And we'll put this one to a square D. And now we can play about with the arrangement of these oscillators, giving it different sounds. So we're going to go through these and see if any of them sound better. I quite like the sound of that one. It's got a nice sort of lower tone, so I might use that one. And then just adjust the levels of these until we get a different sort of sound. So I'm quite liking that sound. It sounds quite metallic. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in a bit of reverb onto that and drop everything down. And on this note here, we're going to take that down an octave just like we did for the sub bass. So I'm going to go to there, select this note and press Shift down. And there we go. And I'm also going to add in a bit of saturation just to amplify the sound slightly. I'm going to put that onto medium curve. Add a bit of DC. And you can see when I put on color and put the bass up, it really distorts the bass, so we don't want to overdo it, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so now we're going to put in a spectrum just to analyze the sound and see what see if there's any problems. And as you can see here, we've got quite a lot of high end. You can see it's leaving a mark there. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that out. So we're going to put on an EQ8, and I always put the EQ on before the spectrum so you can see what the changes are. And we're going to go to our fourth one, Changing it to like a high cut. And we're also going to put on a low cut at the bottom just to take out the very sub sound. So this bass sound isn't perfect yet, it still needs a bit of tweaking just to get a couple glitches out, but I'll do that after the tutorial. But at the moment I'm going to drop in an auto filter to add some wobble to the sound. So I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to put in an auto filter. And I'm going to put the LFO up to full. I'm going to put the time code on to, I'm just going to leave it at 116, and I'm going to take the phase right down and the filter down to about 2/3. And now we'll see what that sounds like in the tune. So you might be able to hear there that our original bass sound now is kind of struggling to come through in the mix. So what I could do here is I could put sidechain compression on, and that would basically make it so that this sound would cancel out this one. But on this tutorial I'm actually just going to automate the volume of our second bass here. So I'm just going to put an automation line here. You can also notice it's a bit loud, so I'm going to take it down a bit. And now if I want to copy this, I can just do Control Alt and C and then paste it by Control V. So I'm going to do that, so it's every time this note's coming in, it's doing that. So I think I want more of this original sound here, so I'm gonna copy this note here. Just doing Control C and put it into this track, Control V. And I'm going to take this one again and copy that into there as well. But at the moment there's no automation on this note, so I'm going to have to go into our automation line operator, and we'll see that it's got no automation there. So again, we're just going to do Control Alt C and then copy it onto our note, so it's getting the same sound as the other ones. This note isn't hitting right, so I'm just going to click that and press right on the keyboard, and it's going to snap it in. And I'll see if this one's okay. That one's alright. Might take that one down an octave though. So shift and down. There we go. And we'll just see what that sounds like now. So that's sounding quite good, but I think we're going to put some automation onto the rate of the second one so that it wobbles at different speeds. So I'm going to right click my rate here and go show automation. The first thing I want to do before I start editing this automation is put it on so the grid is smaller. Put it to 1.4. So now I'm just going to edit the automation, and I'll have to fast forward this bit because it took about 5 or 10 minutes to get it the way I wanted it. So I'd recommend taking your time on this bit and making sure that all the wobbles and the squeals and whatnot sound good. I'll also remind you at this time, could you please rate the video if it helps, because it will help my video get more views, so that'd be appreciated. So now we're going to give that a listen to and see what that sounds like. So I'm quite happy with that automation there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that automation by selecting all, Control Alt C, and I'm going to put that into another effect. So I'm going to load up a phaser here, and the preset phased and confused. I'll just put that on the end of our effect chain. Well, that is it's set a time code, so I'm going to select the rate here, and it should open up. It should open up the automation lane, and then just going to press Control and V, and it's copied in the same automation that we had for the rate on the filter here. So I'm going to put the LFO up to full and see what that sounds like now. And I'm also going to take the phase down because it's too stereo just now. And there we have a pretty unique dubstep sound. I don't think I've ever heard that exact sound before in a dubstep track, so I'm quite happy with that. Happy days. So usually before the bass drops in dubstep tracks there's some sort of rise. So in the next video I'm going to start working on a rise that's going to build up to this drop. So you can click the annotation on the screen just now and that's going to take you to the next video. And can I please remind you to kindly rate the video and favourite it if you'd like, as again it'll help me get more views. So thanks for that, and I'll see you in the next video.